Don't. I know what you're trying to do.
It's too late now.
It's the clap.
Yeah, gonorrhea.
It's the clap. It's the clap.
It's the clap.
And it's back.
Oh god, I forgot it's up there now.
See, it's right there, man.
What's up, man? Hi, everybody.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tardy to the Party, where three nerds gather around and talk about the holy trinity of pop culture: DC, Marvel, and Star Wars. I'm your boy, Jay Sib, and to my left, as always,
Kevin Crunch.
and to my right, as always,
The bull.
how are you boys this week? Got this cold. Well, actually, we got some. Didn't we have it like a day in the 60s this week?
We did.
And then it was
We
like,
did.
hey,
It
fuck
was-
you. It's cold
Yeah,
again the next day.
Dude, it was awful.
The very next day.
Yeah.
Like, I woke up and I was like, shit, my pipes. Thankfully, I was like, oh, okay, it only got as low as like 30. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm fine. Yeah, but it's still like, what the hell?
Dude, the swings of living in Illinois. It's just ridiculous.
Oh my God. Did you guys. We're a pop culture podcast talking about weather. Did you guys get the hail?
No, we didn't.
Mm. I don't
Okay,
think so.
dude. I get home. I just pop my ass down on my kitchen table, building my Infinity Gauntlet Lego thing I
Fuck
bought.
yeah.
Wow, that fucking just really reinforces this whole podcast thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hey, I did a great job.
I love that.
I sat there and I was like, I was like, man, if Legos weren't so damn expensive, I'd probably do this all the time.
Dude,
I
I've
do.
thought about that
I mean,
myself. Like, there's so many Lego sets. I was like, man, I miss putting together like
But
theme sets like that. And then
Dude,
I
but
like
I-
look them up, and I'm like,
Dude, I've got 3 or 4. I got
fuck yeah, Millennium Falcon, it's $200. Like, that's how I react.
Dude, I
like,
have 3 or 4 like sets laying around like that I just haven't put together yet. And thank you. Now that's what I'm gonna do.
yeah, no problem, man.
That's this.
It's
weekend.
actually like relaxing. Like
Yeah.
it's like a tedious task. You just you monotonously, robotically follow just their step-by-step instructions, but it's kind of relaxing. But anyways, so I'm sitting there and like all of a sudden I just start hearing just pour, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I like get up, open my front door, because I was like, what is that? Because it was clear and just all of a sudden hard rain, out of nowhere. Slams down, and then all of a sudden I start hearing the clack, 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 and I just thought, "Holy shit! Glad my Jeep fits in my garage." So like that was my first thought to the hail, was like not my roof of my house,
Yeah.
my car.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank God my
I
car
respect
can't get
that, though.
dented by that.
I'd be the same way.
You really gotta know what you're looking for to see the roof damage. So it's like, to the common eye, whatever. Whatever.
Real quick though, back to the Lego set. What Lego sets do you got?
Oh, dude.
Or like what are they, like
Yeah.
Star Wars? Or...
Yeah, all Star Wars.
All Star Wars.
Dude,
all Star Wars.
if we
Yeah,
ever
they're
could
like-
get the capability of like live streaming to do like just like a
Fuck
just
yeah.
like an Ask Us Anything thing while we just build a Lego.
Period, dude. But it would have to be
Let
like
us know.
we'd have to like rebuild like favorite scenes.
Is this gonna
That'd
be
sweet.
like? Is this like Ned and Spider-Man? Just come help me build my new Lego Death Star. Like,
Yeah.
Come
is
with
that what
me.
we're gonna-
Yes,
I will
it is.
say, like, so I think you can get like the Bo-Katan helmet
Sweet?
on like a mount. I'm looking at it. We got a laptop right here. I do know that you can get, because like my Infinity Gauntlet's on this, like it's like a mount you build and then out of Legos. That's cool too. It's not like just
Okay.
a prepackaged like full plastic mount. Like, no, you build that with Legos too, and then the glove sits like on it.
It's pretty
Okay.
sweet.
Pretty sick.
I saw a Vader one.
Or you build it is what I should say. But I swear there's one of like the Mando helmet and the Bo-Katan helmet just because of the show making them so popular.
Sweet.
That's all I was trying to say.
I think those aren't bad either. They're like $70-$80. They're not bad.
What if there's one of like a Batman?
Here's
cowl?
Nando at Walmart, $56.75. I might go buy that.
How
Not
big is
bad.
it? How many pieces?
They're not small. And that one looks like that's a lot of pieces.
584.
Oh, 584 pieces. Oh, shit. Yeah.
I think it's pretty sweet though.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, down at the Lego store in Disney, they have all those like lined
we
up
got
next to each
Grogu.
other.
What
It's
the-
sweet.
wonder if they got my boy from Kenobi, the
Okay,
the
but
goated character.
Like right here,
Who's that?
the Millennium
What was
Falcon
his
is
name?
100.
Lola.
Dude, they have remote control ones, dude.
What?
Yeah.
I think Hasbro's
Oh,
selling.
buying that.
Let's see.
I'm just gonna put that on a wish list next time
Like-
anybody asks me, like, "What do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas?" Yeah, here, buy me this.
You can get Vader's castle is $209. Like that's what I mean. It's like shit's cool, but this is like
God, that's 1,060 pieces. Holy sh!
a live stream.
Dude, that would be epic. And we just, actually, man, if only we could play Star Wars music the whole time and then we get copyrighted.
I mean, can I just play it from my Apple Music and just yeah, I paid my royalty. We paid our royalty fee. It's my Apple
we even
Music.
got the
I'll buy it.
T3. Ain't nothing.
I got some gift cards.
This can't.
That's
be
what I'm
real.
saying. Nothing to it but to do it, big guy.
I was gonna buy a new thermostat, like one of them smart thermostats, but fuck it, I'm getting a Lola.
Dude, I got one I can sell you.
Which one?
The Nest.
We'll talk.
Okay.
Did you hate it? What was wrong?
No, I can't. I can't use it with my system.
Oh, do you not have that C adapter or whatever?
But whatever it is, I don't know if there's something I need to do or what.
I think you
but
can buy an adapter for it.
Really?
Because I think they said, I think it's like $20 or $30. Because I think on that, and because I was gonna buy just the Amazon one or whatever, and it said like, yeah, make sure you check it to see if you need to buy the C adapter or not.
I have to check that out.
You guys want to throw in on this $850 Millennium Falcon set that's 7,500 pieces?
My mind says no,
Right.
but everything else on
So
me
it
says
said
yes.
yeah.
I just gotta know how many freaking pieces.
7,500.
Dude, what's the Death
Dude, that's
Star?
7 of the Vader.
It's 30 pounds when it's finished. Do curls with it.
That's dope. Just hanging out. That's awesome. What the Death Star? It's what's the Death Star? I can't remember. That one's fucking huge.
Dude, that's gotta be like just
That's got to be more than what that
15,000
one
at least. If not like up in the 30K.
Especially because I think that one's intricate too. And you
Dude,
can
they got an
like,
R2D2.
You can, yeah, there is R2D2. That's 240. Shit, I saw that in Best Buy the other day, but I didn't look at the tag. My God. 2,300 pieces.
No, that's the one I was thinking of. The Star Destroyer. That one's fucking sweet.
The AT-AT is 6,800 pieces, and it's $850 too. Like these got to be just gigantic.
Dude.
Like you build it, and it's like, yeah, don't knock over my. Like that took me a week to build. I'll actually stab you if you knock it over.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say that on this recording, but whatever.
The
Joke.
Imperial Star Destroyer is 4,784 pieces.
Wait, sorry. Again, what? How many?
4,784.
Like
Jesus.
I'm laughing at that like Galifianakis and Dinner for Schmucks just. like,
Oh, the Death Star, 3,000. Oh no, there's two versions of it. So the smaller version is 3,803 pieces.
Yeah, what's that big boy?
4,016.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be more than that.
I did
yeah,
too. I
actually
thought it was gonna be a
kind
lot
of would
bigger.
have too.
Mhm.
Well, but again, is it you can open it up and it's hollow on the inside?
I don't know.
I don't
Because
know.
if that's the case, I could understand why it would be not that many pieces.
I think one of them is like the partially finished Death Star, and the other one's the actual finished Death Star. So I
Okay.
think one of them kind of has like a open side, so you can kind of see in.
Gotcha.
Oh, word. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, let us know if you maybe want us to do a video of us answering questions, putting Lego sets together.
You just
I
let
think
us
it'd be
know.
fun. But as always,
We
we'll
already
start
got the
off.
table.
We'll start off with
we can
the
just slug beers while we do it too. I mean, that'd be
Oh God,
that would be as is tradition.
a greasy Lego stream.
that
All
might
right.
actually launch this podcast.
When did it change? When did it change for you guys? Oh, we started doing the drunken Lego
Yeah.
set piece stream.
dude, just do hot ones, but with fucking Lego sets. Just invite people on to talk and put together Legos together. There's nothing more
Yeah.
wholesome on television than that.
Except the show on television. What was it called? Lego Wars.
Oh, I did see that.
I was gonna say there is a show. That,
Similar, yeah. That's
Yeah.
when they bring like the groups in.
but I think they just custom build shit.
Mhm.
Don't they build like anything?
yeah, we'd just be
I
building
think
sets,
so.
man.
I think the one I've seen, they build like random stuff. Yeah. Anyway, let's start with the stepson of the Holy Trinity right now, DC.
Moving on.
Yeah, no shit.
I've got a few things this week. Let me pull up my little links here. Yeah, let's just get to the dumpster fire news at first. Apparently, there are, according to Variety, who honestly, Variety at this point, I just don't trust at all. They become just like a fucking Reddit gossip website because they've been so. James Gunn has shot down so many of this crap. Anyway, they article this week. Apparently, Warner Bros. Execs, that's the key word, Warner Bros. Execs, are reportedly open to Ezra Miller returning as the Flash. Because he's apparently been, or they've been really good since they've gone into their mental health rehab. Kudos to that. The thing that I don't think people are realizing is the ones that are like getting all up in arms about it is, who cares? It's a WB exec. They don't matter. It didn't say Peter Safran or James Gunn are open to Ezra Miller coming back. They don't matter anymore, unless it's David Zaslav. Other than those two, yeah, I don't. Doesn't matter, and they would be absolutely crazy to bring him back.
Yeah,
especially after who they've let go already, and then somehow they skirt through and are still. No.
Brother, that's
No, that would be a PR. Well, I mean, Grant, I get most of the general audience probably doesn't know about this or really care about this but us more in the know us in the know that pay attention to this stuff more. I mean, yeah, it's obviously going to rile the feathers of the fandom. Like,
dude, there's no secrets in Hollywood, man. It's like you're not going to be able to do the shit that he's already done, and then just waltz right back in. And at the same time, you get rid of everyone else. And the one person you should have got rid of quicker.
That's why if this rumor is even remotely true, this is bad, because he has been just, publicly not in the best light. They're just like, yeah, we're okay that he comes back though, but these other actors that the whole fan base is demanding be included, yeah, fuck those people. That just to me looks really bad.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah, they haven't really made anything. Done made any.
I hate to say this though.
In the light anywhere.
I hate to say this though.
Yeah, they've just been quiet for once.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that with the way that they are going to reinvent the DC cinema. He unfortunately plays the one part where it's real easy for him to come back. Just flashpoint, ran back in time, screwed stuff up.
Like, that's the only thing. Like, if they were gonna
go back to the future, it's different. So I got to fix it again.
If you took all their baggage away, and if just pretend none of the problems existed, and they were the only one that made it through to the other end, I'd be like, all right, it makes sense because they're the Flash. Like, if they, like you said, Flashpoint, when the Flash comes back, the world can be all different with new people and different roles and whatever. It'll make it
different.
Yeah. So I get it from a storytelling perspective, but I mean, come on, somebody there has to have some knowledge of PR. You have to have a department there for that. I know you do. So unless they just all run on peanuts for brains,
nah, man,
I don't know.
It out. They'll figure itself out.
Do they just think he's going to be able to RDJ this thing? This will be his Iron Man.
And that's the thing with that though, is that took a long time for him to come back.
That
took a long time for him to come back. Same thing with what someone would brought up Winona Ryder. They're like, oh, don't forget about how Hollywood blacklisted Winona Ryder for shoplifting for a decade or so. And it's I mean, yeah, they can come back, but it takes a long while, and you probably won't ever be as big as you once were. But with RDJ, I don't think he was that big anyway. And then
his comeback was his biggest part of his fame, in my opinion. So.
But yeah, so there's that dumpster fire of a news that probably doesn't matter at the end of the day anyway. So there we go. Just stuff that that's not a WB exec. He pretty much runs the studio. James Gunn. He tweeted out some things this week. he basically, so we kind of already said this earlier, and we kind of touched on it last week, which I'm pretty sure, yes, it is the 6th, and nothing came out today, so I guess he was correct when he said false to the news about the January 6th announcements of the slate. However, he did earlier this week. If I can find the tweet.
I don't know if you'll find the.
But he basically came out. Oh wait, no, it's this one right here. So, Variety once again. Who would have thought? Came out and reported that Wonder Woman will not appear in the first 3 years of the DCU at all.
I think her and Batman, right? Or it was her and someone else.
I only saw Wonder Woman because I think it pretty much because James Gunn had pretty much already said that Batman and Superman are super important in his new slate. But somebody, sure, we'll shout him out at DC Above, tweeted out to James Gunn. Please debunk this one, crying emoji. James Gunn, I hereby debunk it, only because it's not true. So bang, apparently Wonder Woman will be in the first 3 years of the slate, whether it'll be, her own movie or if she'll just, exist and show up somewhere else. Who knows? Then other than that, someone also, sure, at Resonant Justice, why not? Can you discuss at all the report from Variety in regards to Ezra Miller / the notion that your slate is only 3 years worth of projects? James Gunn replies, I don't know what's out there about Ezra. Come on. Don't lie to us. I get it, though. He can't say anything about Ezra. Because they're just going to shut their mouth until the movie comes out. And then hopefully they're just like, GG banned. All right? See you later.
GG.
But anyway, sorry. I don't know what's out there about Ezra, but our slate is 8 to 10 years, but we only will be announcing some of it this month. So it's kind of piggybacks on what he said earlier, that there would be an announcement after the new year. So we are getting an announcement about this first 3 or so years of the new DC slate. And it's coming this month, just we don't know exactly when. I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later because we need something to put out these PR disasters that are just constantly coming out. Like you alluded to it last week. I mean, yeah, like any PR is good PR, but I mean, come on, it's been bad for the most part. We need some like good news, something to actually like look forward to. Hopefully,
so I can't. I hate that I just didn't screenshot the tweet. I saved the image on my phone. I hate this. Don't know if you saw this, Jay. And basically, for those of you that are listening, I have to just show my phone because I can't find it. Did you see this?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It is bullshit. Because honestly,
if
that's true, that's some hot stuff. They're just
we can talk about it.
Jumping right into.
We can talk about it.
So
I wasn't going to. But
he apparently. I mean, the only thing about it that I don't like. We can talk about it, is that if that's really the Superman movie he wants to launch with, I don't know how you do a younger Superman with that plot.
So I'm not even going to give this person credit because it's an account that's...
it just showed up on my timeline, and
because people are sharing it for... First off, if you look at it, and you just look at the text for one, and you look at the logos for two... fake. You can immediately tell. Just really, fake. Anybody that
looks real
has
off,
even amateur, like skill level in graphic design could make something better than that. And they actually then they were like, oh, later I don't know because I looked up.
No.
They posted a picture again with new updated logos and new font. And we're like, oh, now we found this new HD version of it. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
The HD version.
Like that's why I wasn't even gonna. Like, we can say what movies are on the slate. We can say the movies on the slate because it does feel very something that would be kind of James Gunn. And, like, yeah, some of the movies on there, if, they are something that gets announced. That'd be kind of exciting. But...
I mean, I'd be pretty... Okay, so what's on here that we can see? Superman the Last Son is what it looks like the title
Superman
is.
the Last Son.
Green Lantern, The Ring of Power. Teen Titans, The Judas Contract.
That would be hot. It's a Green Arrow.
It's Green Arrow, but what the... Night of Arrow. Weird. And then...
weird.
Yeah.
And then Justice League, and I can't remember what it was after that.
Looks like it says Tower of Babel. But...
Oh. That would be interesting.
Anyways, but like you said, it seems that this is a fake image. But I will just say though, like that'd be pretty sweet. I mean, especially the Judas Contract one, because I'm still waiting on a live action, high quality movie CGI Deathstroke.
You know what's missing from
That's
here?
more than a fucking cameo at the end of the movie.
Yeah, no shit.
Thing is, though, is there's no Batman movie in there. Also, but
true. I still think they should do the route where, like, you could have Superman as the headline, like that's the movie, but then Batman's just in it at some point. You know what I mean? Like I hate to make the comparison, but like you could do like how with Marvel, Black Widow was introduced in Iron Man 2, and then Hawkeye was in Thor for I think like that little short time he's in it. But that's what I mean is like I feel like they could pull off a way to just have multiple heroes, maybe like one or two in one movie, so then at the end of it, or so then after a couple years they can have a Justice League team up movie.
I'm still not opposed to them just starting off with like a Justice League movie. They're not going to, but I mean, it sounds like from
Yeah.
I don't buy into the whole you have to do the Marvel formula to make it work. You want to know what made Marvel work, in my opinion? Because if you actually look back, a few of their like earlier movies, other than Iron Man, didn't really perform that well. But you know what they didn't do though? They didn't pull a WB and abandon ship immediately. They actually stuck to their guns and kept building on the universe. And look at it now. That's actually the Marvel formula. Is they just didn't freaking give up. That's
honestly, in my opinion, that's always to what the formula.
And it's like we're at the point now where I think a lot of the general like audience, like even if they don't know the hero, it wouldn't take them very long to understand a hero's powers or what their motivations are. Like you can always flesh out that stuff up like later. But I don't know. I feel like most people know like the Holy Trinity enough, at least of the Justice League. I feel like a fair amount of people know about the Flash if they watch the TV show.
They should. A lot of people actually.
Green Lantern could be a little iffy with certain people, and depending on who else maybe they want to flesh it out with. You can always interchange different people because they always have, whether it's Cyborg or somebody else, Aquaman.
Speaking of the Flash show, I just have to do it, guys. Stephen Amell's back. Might have to watch.
I was getting to that.
Shit.
Yeah, it's he's back. He's only back for one episode, episode 9, I believe. So I will probably just tune in for that episode and probably won't again. That show fell off.
Hard.
As much as I loved that show in the beginning. First 3 seasons were after that. But yeah, that's really hype. I'm still waiting for, his wrestling show Heels to come back for season 2 because the first season was awesome. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool. It's only fitting, and it's kind of obviously cool that they're bringing him back for because he's the one that started his character and him are the one that started the whole Arrowverse. So, and also it was the show that introduced Barry Allen's Flash, so he could get his own spinoff show. So that's cool. I don't know exactly how they're going to do that because I thought when he who did they make him? They basically made him like Death, didn't they?
Oh, when Arrow ends, yeah, that crossover event. So he becomes the Green Spectre.
Yeah, that's right, Green Spectre. And I was like, I can't remember which cosmic or.
And then Flash has to carry him through the Speed Force to do some shit so they can.
So unless he's coming back as Spectre again, I guess that would be cool. But I don't see how he comes back as Green Arrow. But whatever. So there's been it's been a fan favorite pop up on the Twitter in the last couple days for who should be the next Superman.
Oh yeah, and I don't even know who that guy is.
I don't know who he is, but the scene, and I have it playing here. I'm not obviously can't play the audio of it. I'll give the dude credit because there's a bunch of other people that shared the video and kind of didn't give him credit. But the OG Taco Badger is the one that shared the video saying, I didn't know much about him at first, so I looked him up, and yeah, he can play Superman. This is sorry if I butcher his last name, Wolfgang Novogratz, I believe is how it's said.
Yeah.
It's basically just a scene. I don't know what show this is from, but there's a woman like hurt on the ground. It looks like she twisted her ankle or something. And he like walks up, like asks her to help her up. I know he's got that Clark Kent, smile and like just genuineness to him. And so he goes to like see if she can get up and stand on it. She can't. So then he just bends over and picks her up, and he like kind of has a smile on his face, and she looks up at him. I was like, yeah, I get that. That's some Clark Kent vibes. Like he passes the Clark Kent test. I'll give him that. And he looks. I mean, he looks the part. As far as what he's done, Feel the Beat, the half of it, the last summer. I think I've heard of that one. Yes, God, Yes. Yeah, I don't know any of these. But he's 25, so he is young.
Yeah.
And if we're really actually going young, because this is something that's going to annoy me. If we're talking about going young Superman, and we end up getting like a 30 to 35-year-old Superman, I'm going to be pissed because it's just like, why didn't we keep him? He's going to look 30 until he's like 55.
I mean, you got a point there.
100%.
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
You got a very good point there. So this actor is...
Yeah, according to IMDb, he's 25.
Okay. Well, and Cavill, I think, was 28, so... I mean... Alright. That's,
He looks the part. He's got the jawline.
I was going to say,
he's
showed...
also I think the thing that got me in this scene... Sorry, KP. Is
no, you're good.
You can, at certain points, he's got like...
The hair
the
piece,
Superman curl,
yes,
and I'm like...
He does.
He's got that, too.
I was going to say that, and they compared that to like They compared that to a photo of Christopher Reeve, and it looks like so almost identical. So it looks pretty good. So people are...
So, yeah, I don't know anything about him from this one scene. I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe James Gunn, give him a call and give him a casting screening or whatever. See how he does.
Maybe on Netflix or something. I don't know. But
I've always been a fan of that. Casting the people that people don't know a lot. Casting the actors that you don't know a ton about, especially for big roles.
That's the thing. Man. Like, I would
Hayden
like...
Christensen.
I would like some big
Mark
name
Hamill,
people.
I know.
I do definitely want some big name people, but yeah, for some roles it's definitely nice to have like an unknown actor come in and kind of make a name for himself.
My lightsaber has to say Batman.
What did he say? He said, what color lightsaber can I get? He says, the bad guys have red, the good guys have blue and green.
Yeah, I want purple. I'm not making this movie.
Yeah, he says,
shit, all right.
He's like, we'll see what we can do.
George Lucas was like, God damn it. All right.
I know, it's amazing.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. No, now I think of that Dave Chappelle, the Chappelle episode, the beer. It's good fucking beer.
A fucking shark ate me.
Haven't you seen my movies?
All right, but yeah, I think that that wraps up DC news for this week. So all in all, not bad, other than the stupid one about the WB ignorant execs.
Well,
what you got for Marvel?
Well, for Marvel, some quick highlights, which I didn't really look much into this one, but apparently the Echo show was rushed into production. Maybe because of how well the character was received in Hawkeye is the only thing I can think of as to like why they would decide to do that. So that's kind of worrisome to me, just because I just feel like, well, quality of all the shows in general hasn't been the greatest anyway. So now I feel like you got this rushed one, and it's like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer. She was my favorite character from that show that I didn't watch.
Damn.
But I have heard good things about that. Wait, is she? So I've heard a little bit about this character. Is she deaf?
She's deaf.
Okay, I'm on board. Yeah, that sounds cool. So
is
she like an archer, or does she have?
She's just a badass martial artist.
Yeah.
Worse. So she just beats ass.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a pretty cool character.
Word. But yeah, I would agree. That's not something I would want to hear either. Especially if it's a character you're looking forward to. Like you get excited, like, oh yeah, we get it quicker. But like you said, the quality hasn't been great, so you don't really want to see that get rushed and dip that quality again.
And really, it depends on the level of quality. I mean, not the level of quality, but the level of, I don't know, time that needs to be spent on that product. You know, it's like even with Winter Soldier and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, there wasn't a whole lot of huge expense to a lot of those scenes. A lot of it was interaction between characters. It was traveling here. It was fighting on the top of a truck here.
And I think that's why the show wasn't received that well.
I agree, but I think that's kind of a lot of the lower end grounded characters. I think that's the way they do those.
Yeah, and that's the way that this is gonna be because she is a grounded character. Like she's like in the street level universe of Marvel with like your Daredevil and like. I mean, Spider-Man at times, and like Kingpin and Deadpool and shit like that, where we're not talking about like fighting aliens in space or like flying through the sky and shit. Like this is the very grounded stuff. But yeah, just sucks because like I'm pretty sure it was like straight up the producer of the show that said he was rushed by Marvel to get it into production. So. Sucks to hear. Actually should have led with this. T's and P's that he recovers very well, but I don't know if you guys saw, but the accident that Jeremy Renner had.
Terrible.
Saving, like, what he was trying to save or get other people unstuck or something, right?
Yeah, I think he was either trying to get somebody unstuck or he was trying to help somebody either way.
He was trying to help someone. And his snowplow, I guess, was just automatic, like just running, right? And he was trying to jump on it, and then basically he screwed it up, and it ran him over.
And there's a thing now.
Like I've seen his face,
where
like
there's a failsafe on that operating system of whatever that was.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly the name brand. I don't want to name drop, but there's a failsafe that if you're not on it, it's not supposed to be able to be moved forward or at all. So unless you're physically on it, and must be a pressure sensor or something.
Right.
Unless you're sitting on it, it's not supposed to be able to move, and it did, and that's why he got all jacked up. So something bad's coming to that company. My guess is.
The hell out of them. I didn't say that.
Bury them, Jeremy. Bury them. Yeah, it was cool to see him tweet out that picture, and then there was a video too of his mom and his sister. So it seems like he's on the up and up, which is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, T's and P's to him, and
yeah. My only other kind of quick thing is Deborah Jo Rupp is gonna Kitty from '70s Show, the mom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So she was in the first couple of episodes of WandaVision, and she's gonna return as her character.
That's cool.
In Agatha.
That's
and
cool.
honestly, because she was in '70s Show, so now they've got Han, her. And Plaza, like, the show's gonna be a straight up comedy. It has to be.
Yeah.
Like I just can't see it being anything else. But that's all like the quick highlight news. I mean, really, I just have some other quick stuff. I did like a smartass. I wrote huge ass man. Sorry.
I was looking at that earlier.
Sorry,
I was
Wolverine.
just sitting up here looking at it like, man, what the fuck is that?
He was in an interview, and they asked him about other things. I don't even know if they were actually specifically asking him about the Deadpool, but he's like sitting there saying out like, yeah, and oh my god, it's gonna be terrible because like I think one of the songs in the holiday movie with Reynolds and Farrell, I think it got nominated for like a Tony, or not a Tony, but like a.
Didn't he tweet that video out? I think he tweeted that out.
Who? Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, because he was saying like Happy New Year, and he was like, although it's getting off to a bad start.
He was like, I'm gonna have to work with Ryan Reynolds, who's just gonna nonstop annoy the shit out of me about getting nominated for this thing when I was in Greatest Showman, and I think he didn't. So he was like, I'm just gonna have to listen to this for like a year while we were making Wolverine and Deadpool.
Oh my
So
God.
people were like, oh, he said Wolverine and Deadpool. That's the title. That's the title. And it's like, calm the fuck down, people. But yeah, he also said though in a different interview that this movie is gonna apparently be interesting for him because he said that they're going to have. The characters of Wolverine and Deadpool are going to have a rivalry of something like he's never seen before or something.
I think something that he's never done before.
That's what he said.
He said something because that was interesting, and I was like, huh.
Oh, God.
Are you going to put on the suit? But,
yeah.
And I think there was something else he said where it was like, "How are you going to deal with Ryan every day?" And he was like on set, and he was like, "Oh, it's actually going to be great. I get to punch Ryan Reynolds in the face every day."
Yeah,
and
that
I was like,
one thing. I
That's
forgot.
awesome.
You're
It's like,
right.
"Oh,
He
you
did
guys
say
are the
that.
greatest."
Yeah, he did say like, oh, because they asked him like. They basically said, like, we really thought that Logan was your last one. And he said, yeah, I did too. But then I realized I get to punch Ryan Reynolds every day
that was
for a
it.
year.
That's
Or
fantastic.
something like that. So it's hilarious. Their friendship's amazing. Only other things, just apparently they're still trying to get a Fantastic Forecast, which doesn't surprise me.
They got to get on that, don't they?
That's good though. Take
I really
time.
think that they just...
Or is that shit getting delayed too?
Well, that's
Hey,
actually
I'll
a
delay
good
it for-
thing.
I'll
Because,
delay it.
that's really, I think, supposed to come out in this next phase.
Dude, I'll delay the shit out of it if I can't find the right character. That's good.
I think they should just bring back Krasinski and then just throw whatever money his wife needs in order
Emily
to
Blunt.
just do it. She doesn't want to do it, and everyone's like, yeah, but fans, man. You guys would be perfect.
Make the fans.
You're already married in real life.
Oh,
I
no,
mean, come
I-
on.
Not another 20 mil or whatever, fucking it's just
Right.
No.
Secret Wars, apparently, the rumor is that, and I don't know how true it is, I get all my stuff from MCU The Direct, like MCU Direct, which is really just
The
Direct, but their MCU coverage. Apparently, it's being thrown around the rumor mill that Secret Wars plotline will be like Endgames, and they're going to use the multiversal travel the same way that they use the time travel from Endgame.
Yeah.
Except just, I would imagine just like if you watch Loki, you can see how they're going to do it. I mean, they have the damn wrist devices to open these portals to go into like, in Loki, they call it different timelines, but essentially what it is I think it's all the same thing. I think they're just jumping in the different universes, too. Because that's essentially what causes, like, the different universe with different outcomes is just because a point in time went differently.
Right.
Because everything is a 50-50. Yeah. And then, guys, Dave Bautista just wants to be a great fucking actor. All right? So,
well, that's
Drax has to die. He's gonna die in Guardians 3
and
because he's said farewell to the character.
and he's gonna go grunt for a living in
He's-
Gears
he's-
of War.
He's done doing these that silly performance.
And say things like shit, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Shit.
That's it. Shit, yeah.
I mean, hey, Henry Cavill made a living for a season going,
Fuck.
And fuck.
Yeah. At
That's
least
true.
give
He
credit.
did.
Yeah,
He did do that. I mean, that kudos to that. But no, so I just wanted to bring that up since that's a big thing that's been going around is that he himself came out and said, like, yes, I've said goodbye to the character. And to me, from when you see the trailer and they're crying around a table, you get the sense of loss that I feel like then, yeah, he's dying in the movie. And if he's not dying, then whoever the hell else it is, and then maybe Drax will go off into the sunset with, like, maybe Adam Warlock will only be in this movie. Maybe they don't really want to use the character. I don't know.
The only thing that was also interesting in what he said was basically that, like, here's where it gets a little confusing because it could mean two different things. He alluded to something where it's like, it won't be the last that you'll see of Drax, but it'll be somebody else playing the role.
Oh, really? I didn't know that he said that.
Interesting.
Something I paraphrased it, but that's essentially what he said, and I was like, interesting.
I
So
didn't know
either Drax will just come back in Secret Wars or Kang Dynasty when we get multiverse, and it's just going to be a different Drax from a different universe.
That's going to be a tough transition.
Or he may survive, and since Drax is so makeup heavy, maybe they just think you're not really going to be able to tell that much. And
Yeah.
I mean,
as far as looks wise, we've had Rhodey change characters, change actors.
I mean, yeah.
We've had a few actor changes. It happens, but
The thing, though, too, is that his MCU appearance, it's similar to the comics, but I've always kind of thought that it's not real faithful to like the actual OG, but maybe I'm just full of it. It's looking like I'm full of it. So that's interesting. I will admit, I totally missed that where he could, like, the character could still very much be alive.
Or unless he's just alluding to the fact that it's a possibility.
Yeah, I'm thinking of this, the old 80s.
He's leaving because he saw James Gunn went. Everybody knows he loves James Gunn. He's like, maybe I finally got a shot to play Bane.
Well,
I tried kicking the door down and demanding it, like, what, a year or two ago that he said? Like, I went to the WWE and said, I'm playing Bane. And they're like, nah, we ain't got shit for Bane right now.
Hey, bro.
I wouldn't doubt it just because, he came out and even said, he's like, I will not do Guardians 3 if it's not James Gunn.
Yeah.
He was one of James Gunn's biggest supporters when he was going through all that ish.
Yeah, he was. So, hate to see him go, but I don't know. I
Honestly,
find it hilarious that he took a stand. He fucking sat there and said, yeah, I wasn't. What didn't he say? Something like, I'm not trying to be like The Rock.
Yeah.
He said something like that.
And I'm not going to lie, and I can't remember what director said it.
That's tough.
I can't remember what director said it. If it was Ryan Johnson or a different one. But he basically said that Dave Bautista is the best, like, wrestler turned actor. Like, period. And honestly, I don't disagree. Did you guys see Glass Onion yet?
I was going to say, it might have
And he also has this new movie coming out, like Knock at the Door or something like that, and it's kind of like a thriller, and he's like kind of like the main antagonist. And he's like, and it's like a completely different role than he's like. It looks good.
I need
to
check this shit out.
Like Bautista actually can like act. Like, think about it. Like when you pretty much watch any Rock movie, I'm sorry, you kind of just see The Rock. Like you're just like, okay, The Rock's playing this character.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
You don't really necessarily like lose yourself in the role. Like honestly, most of the time, like when Bautista's in a role, I don't think Bautista. Like,
no,
yeah.
No, I really don't.
You know, I don't think of that. Like usually, I think of him as his role.
He's completely removed himself from that
reference there.
from the personality. Completely separated himself from his wrestling personality. I mean The Rock. You said The Rock is The Rock, and that was my one worry about Black Adam initially before we saw it. That I thought it was just gonna be The Rock.
I do need to watch.
I generally feel the same about Cena too, except for I didn't feel that way about Peacemaker. I kind of felt like I didn't see John Cena as much in Peacemaker.
And that's why I think that I have struggled with that, because I still see it, and that's all I can see, and that's why I don't think he's like funny to me. So
I think for some reason, like I probably do see John Cena. That's a lie. I do see John Cena, but I get so much enjoyment out of it because for decades he's just been nothing but a fucking Boy Scout in the WWE. Like, just could do, except for when he first debuted and he was, the Doctor of Thugonomics and was like pretty much the greatest gimmick like ever. But
right,
yeah,
true,
great callback.
Ever since then, he has just been a Boy Scout and boring, and always had to do the tried and true thing. And he's just an absolute deadpan like dickhead in this show, and it's so funny just to see him just be the complete 180 opposite of what he was for a decade plus. Actually, I think this last week or something, it was like 20 years he's been in WWE.
Damn. Dude, honestly, Bautista just needs to bite the bullet and play Darth Bane. That's what he needs to do. I just think that he needs to push for that, and I think it needs to happen.
Good.
So he's gonna be Bane and Darth Bane.
It all makes sense now.
That's our pitch.
It all makes sense. Signed, sealed, endorsed. It's all good. It would be the perfect person to play that role. Perfect.
All right, bud.
I don't know enough about Darth Bane, so I don't know.
He's just a hulking human being, and he's a hulking human being, and he's covered in slugs that turn into his armor.
Well, let's
suck his blood.
Let's give Dwayne a call too.
Fuck it, dude.
Dwayne the Boulder.
Darth Boulder.
Darth Boulder.
Oh God, that was it for Marvel, right?
So I missed this just 2 hours ago. Kristen Ritter was in a gym and she posted a mirror selfie. She's wearing a Daredevil shirt. So people are like rumoring like, oh, she's gonna come back and be Jessica Jones.
Oh God.
But she captioned it "Mama on her bullshit." So I don't really know much. Don't really follow Kristen Ritter.
Is Mom on her bullshit trolling the internet fans? She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, like that's
She
what
knows what
I
she's
think.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, that's all I got for Marvel. So just a lot of quick little stuffs.
All right, Bull, what you got for the Star Wizzy this week?
Just a couple things. Nothing crazy though, obviously outside of the batch. But rumor mills rolling about the project name Ghost Track 17 from Filoni and Favreau.
I hope that's a placeholder. What the hell?
It is, and I think that's supposed to be some Beatles reference.
Oh, okay. That's why.
Like the Ghost track at the end of the album, it was named something else, and that's supposed to kind of hint at what it is. I haven't deep dove into it too much, but
Interesting.
and not a whole lot is known about what it's supposed to be about. However, there are some people that are speculating that it's actually kind of the fourth installment of Mandalorian, of what would be Mandalorian by that point, because we're getting season 3 for sure. And I'm wondering if that's going to be some Mandalorian tie-in with another character, feature, movie, or whatever, because they're beginning production on it. So, whatever it is, obviously, if it's starting production now, that's a fucking hell of a production schedule. As far as...
I mean, it would, I guess, timing-wise, make sense for it to be Mando 4.
Yeah.
Season 4.
Yeah,
I mean, because Mando's about to drop in March?
I thought they pushed that back, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
No, March 1st. You're right. March
Okay.
1st.
Okay.
So that would make sense, them going into, like, or straight-up production now, because then they're probably going to want to be starting, like, filming sometime soon. How much time is in between each seasons for those? Has it been in 2 years or a year?
Ooh.
Year and a half? I feel like it hasn't been that long for each season.
Yeah, no, it really hasn't. Because really, 1 to 2 is like a kind of a continuation right into the next.
Interesting, though.
And then you got Boba Fett in there kind of peppering things out.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch the Book of Boba Fett.
Not long.
I need to get around to actually finishing Mando or getting caught up, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get through Book of Boba Fett, especially from what I've heard about it, because I already just don't really care about that character. I think he's like the most overhyped, lame character in all of Star Wars.
Well, that's why they give him the show, so you can actually get some...
And properly hate on him.
Content on
True.
So-
Maybe I'll
Alright.
actually watch it then, so I can properly shit on the
I
character.
mean,
So
yes,
remember this.
He was 100% made to sell toys.
Right. So
Like-
so hear this.
He was
the
the
very-
original Captain Phasma, or whatever her name is.
The original.
Yeah,
that's
yes,
funny.
that's
funny.
exactly.
That's hilarious.
Literally, I
correct.
thought that going into it, and then the way she went out, like immediately, I was like, "Yep."
So with dang it, I just lost my train of thought.
Oh, sorry.
Where are you going? I'm gone. All right, Book of Boba Fett. So Boba Fett, actually, his hype train began because before the movies even came out in I think in Hollywood, there was a parade where like they trounced all the big time characters down the street. Well, the only person that got cheers was Boba Fett because they released a Boba Fett comic before they released the toys. So people knew who he was, and they knew who he was. They didn't even know who Vader was at that point. So if you think about way back when, he was the original favorite character of Star Wars.
That's
period.
interesting.
So that's really where the hype train began for him. Is that he was in that movie? All he did was stand there and he nodded at somebody, and then he took a few shots and got
Thrown into a pit.
thrown into the Sarlacc. Like that's it. I mean, and then what? No disintegrations. You got it. I mean. That it is what it is. I mean, that's. And
It is what it is.
I mean, and then for all these years, original fans, everybody. I mean, since back in the 70s, people have been asking what happened to Boba Fett. What happened to Boba Fett? Is he still alive? We never confirmed. It was always the wildest theory.
Because he just like
He's
Jordan
gone.
said, like they did with Phasma, like he's written off in the first fucking 20 minutes of Return of the Jedi.
less than 10 minutes of screen time or some shit like that.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
yeah, and it's like people obsessed for years and years and years about where is he alive, and they're like, oh, this is some just bullshit, typical fanboy rumor that he's still alive and all this. Well, in the comics or in the books rather, he does survive and he digs his way out and he's actually living on Tatooine, and that's when the boy Filoni and company
Filoni.
brought it to
The
life.
goat.
and confirmed that. And that's why that's why I loved it so much, is just the nostalgia of all the questions I had for so long just finally answered. And and obviously that's not too big of a spoiler, because what the hell would the whole series be about if he doesn't?
Well, right. I do remember like people telling me that he ends up surviving that pit, and I just looked at him and I was like, why? Just why?
Dude, it's a cool.
Why?
I think he's gonna fill the rift that we didn't get, the rift that formed because we never got Crimson Dawn or whatever it is with Maul. We never got that. I think that he's got that crime lord aspect
Bullshit.
I think that's what we're gonna get with Boba Fett.
I think so too.
Yeah, the fact we never got that was booty cheeks.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with how they left off on Solo, the story.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was the cliffhanger for the trilogy, and it's like cool.
Unfucking believable.
Mm-hmm.
But lighter news, Batch is out. First 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, boys, it's time.
Yeah, obviously great. It's just this week I've just been so distracted. I didn't really get to really dig too deep, or there were parts that I did miss. So
Same.
Hopefully we can fill in those blanks. But regardless, we'll be talking about all this for the next however long. So this will be a point weekly where we talk about Batch every episode as it releases. So to open up with, obviously we got the scene from the trailer that we got, the sneak peek where they're running on the beach with the giant crabs that are attacking them. Get to see a grown-up Omega.
Older.
Yeah, older. And obviously, ripping shit with that, like, bolt caster.
Dude.
Bowcaster, like, sweet.
Dude, yeah, she's just shredding people
Just
with that
ripping
sucker now.
Dude, just picking people off the top of ships.
Dude,
like,
all she needs now is just a giant fucking tiger, and she's
like
a fucking World of Warcraft hunter.
Let's go.
They made it very apparent that she's taking steps
I
up.
remember mine, Carius. Where you at, bro? 78. I got you to 78. I miss you.
Yeah, I will say, like, it was really cool to see Omega kick some ass, and it kind of, like, proves that she's not really going to be that, like, child in distress constantly getting captured this time. Because even when, like, she was, like, slightly in trouble, instead of her, like, getting caught, she's just, like, going straight for you motherfuckers. And, like...
Yeah, and it's so cool, too, because you start to see, like, she's getting treated like one of the guys,
Mm-hmm.
She's getting treated, she has to take an order just like, Tech or anybody would, know. She's actually, like, when she's off, you can hear Tech in there. He's like, "Nah, cut it loose. We don't have time for this. Let's go. Let's get moving." And she's, obviously, I think that's going to be one of the dynamics in the show, is Hunter trying to reel her in as almost his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Because she does whatever the fuck she wants.
Yep. She thinks she's in the teen years, the rebellious teens,
Exactly.
She don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool to see the dynamic.
So that's what I actually wonder, is like, how much of a time skip is there?
Pretty significant.
I would say like 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It had to have been. Let's see. And we're just a Google away from all of our answers. So.
That's true. Just being lazy.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, not real fucking time. We don't care about real life.
Oh my god, nobody cares about real life. That's why we watch these shows, is to escape this fucking terrible life that we live in.
You're absolutely right.
That's what we do this for, is escapism.
Okay. Bad Batch producer Jennifer Corbett confirmed a couple months have passed between the events of season 1 and 2.
Yeah, right.
That is straight shit.
Yeah, right.
Dude, they made Omega like a foot taller.
Yeah, and her hair's like, well,
Longer.
it's not super long, but it's longer.
Or maybe it's because it was always slicked back.
I don't believe that for a second. I know.
Me
What'd you
either.
say? She's showrunner, producer?
Producer.
Yeah, she doesn't know shit. All right.
Okay. I
Just
guess not, man.
I guess if she says that, though, it just, the anime, like, yeah, just the amount of, like, aging up they did for Omega, it just seems, I would think it at least, like, 2 years.
Oh, God.
Because, like you said, she's like a full foot taller now.
I don't like the way
Like, holy growth spurt. Hope her knees are okay.
Dude, she's about to be fucking 8 feet tall.
Dude, she's going to have growing pains out of the wazoo at this rate.
We built like a Wookiee out here, just with the bowcaster too, dude.
Oh, God.
No,
Get on the high ground. I am the high ground.
That's why they call her Omega. It's the end. She's the ultimate high ground. Oh my god.
She's eventually the size of planets. She becomes the eater of worlds.
And thusly, Darth Nihilus.
I am Galactus.
You caught that, Kevin, didn't you?
What'd you say?
I said, and evidently, Darth Nihilus. Darth Nihilus.
Right.
Darth Nihilus used to consume whole planets to feed
Wait,
to feed
what?
to feed his
It's
hatred.
not canon, Jordan. It's fine.
No, they
Thank-
actually
thank-
did confirm his canon.
Oh my god.
His mask is. They show his mask and Revan's mask in the Rise of Skywalker
Where?
in the tombs on what the fuck is it? The Sith planet.
Don't make me go watch that fucking
Korriban?
movie again.
No, well, not that's the real Sith planet, but whatever this fucking place is.
Forever
out-
my
Oh,
Sith
Exegol.
Exegol, yeah. In the on Exegol, there's giant.
They're in there?
They are.
What?
They
I'll
are.
have to-
I'm gonna have to see. I just only care for the Revan.
Google
Can
up
you
the
tell me
screenshot.
Can you tell me the frame rate just so I don't have to watch the movie?
No, just Google it. Some people have done this work for us already.
That's true.
People have done this work. Already.
Darth Nihilus.
That is probably right before the only good part of that movie, but you know.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Where's the Revan?
Consumer of planets, worlds.
So it's like this one of the statues then in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Because that's what it looks like it is from all these images.
Like when they're lowering down.
Yeah, when it's Ren lowering down.
Word.
I literally never noticed that.
Yeah, dude. That's why I actually kind of gave a little respect to it, because it at least paid homage to what Star Wars is instead of completely fucking shitting down its throat. But, like,
So how does he consume the planet? So does he like Dyson vacuum it like Patrick? Just
dude, honestly,
Spaceballs.
I'm pretty sure it's like a black hole effect from what I remember. It's like kind of like a matter, kind of like the force essence of it just completely gets. Yeah, like he consumes because when they obviously he consumes the souls. They're frightened and they're dying and they're in pain, so he consumes all that anger and pain until I think he died because he overconsumed. I think.
Wait, really?
I'm
Got
pretty
too
sure.
greedy?
I'm pretty sure.
What a bitch.
How did Nihilus die?
Over engorgement.
Oh yeah, he became so absorbed by the dark side of the Force and his hunger that his physical body began to erode. Knowing that he would succumb to death if he did not act soon, Nihilus ripped his spirit from his body and encased it in the armor he wore, thus allowing the dark side to consume his useless body.
What a badass.
That's pretty metal.
Dude.
I'll give him this.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty metal.
I'll
Dude,
give him that.
the dark side is fucking straight.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah.
metal, dude.
Straight.
Dude, they're fucking burning people up, dude. Torturing people.
I'm just
Like,
like,
it's-
I can just imagine myself reading that book or listening to the audio and just when that happened, just every time.
Dude.
Pause the book, throw in the God song on.
Playing Lorna Shore in the background while you
Or
read it,
yeah,
with
or
candles lit.
Hell yeah.
But back to Batch. We got-
Open this
Here we
fucking
are.
planet up.
Open this fucking planet up.
So yeah, sorry, back to the back.
No, I honestly, it was kind of the first episode felt like it was like 5 minutes long.
It did. It felt like
So
it went
short.
really
so
fast.
dude, so fast, and it transitions right immediately into the next pain. Where second episode, and I watched them both together, so it all feels like one episode. But where does it cut off?
So it cuts off at the first one when they're falling out of the. They
fall.
get on the ship because they end up having to get stuck on the crate because they're trying to get the war chest.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, apparently the Dooku thing. I heard that showed up in Clone Wars or whatever. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I know my shit. I haven't seen it,
Yeah,
but I
because
know
it
my
was
shit.
Serenian. Yeah, he was Serenian. That's how he got his. He was a count of Serenia.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause he kills his brother, right? 'Cause he's trash.
No, I think his family just died, didn't they? He inherited it.
I think that's how he got his title. Is they just by inheritance, because I don't think he wanted it, but he just wanted the money.
I thought I heard though that he had a brother though. I thought he had a brother, and they were both counts.
Really?
And I think Count Dooku came back later and killed him because of how he was like mistreating the people of Sarah, whatever it's called.
Okay.
I don't know. Unless the Easter egg and breakdown video I watched was a lie.
Jesus. And you Google one thing about Dooku, and the whole fucking Legends universe just explodes on your screen. It's talking about Dooku and Dooku pledging his allegiance to Vader in one of these. I'm like, holy fuck. I don't see anything about that, but then again, it doesn't make it not true.
I could be wrong. Hey, why don't you guys leave a comment down below? What's up?
Yeah, what's the truth here?
Yeah, did I get lied to?
You probably just
I'm ignorant enough still with certain things that I could get fooled like that.
Dude, you know how many...
But the person I watched was pretty reliable.
You know how many Legends, like, comic stuff come up, and I'm like, holy fuck, when did this happen? You know, and then it's like they inserted, like, oh, it's a Marvel, Dark Horse, blah, blah, blah comic, and it's new. No, that's from, like, fucking some Legends comic that they don't even make anymore. You know, it's you don't even know what's real and what's not, and sometimes they make it so fucking convincing. You can't.
But,
or it's not true.
I guess even when we do get, because it's in his room, well, in the crates too, you see where the corruption eventually got to Dooku though, and he definitely was probably stealing from his people with the mass of just jewels and credits and whatever that he had. It was insane.
Well, and I think that Count title gave him access to like the coffers of like the higher society there, and I think he was able to allocate that, and that's
why it was important.
Well, because I think
Yeah.
right, because didn't he use a lot of that to like fund the separatists and stuff like
It
that?
helped them out because the banking clans were like, we can't just finance this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's why they needed him, banking clan. They needed the Techno Union and the Trade Federation, because they're basically all the ones that had all the money to make sure they could keep producing the droids.
And they all played their part.
Geonosis was just the hideaway planet where they were making them until, like, obviously, as you see in the movie, it kind of gets caught.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But, obviously, we get some debauchery here towards the end of the episode, because these episodes were really fast. I mean, it feels like they're just blowing by. And I think that's why I missed a lot of the details, so please fill in as we go here.
I missed some of them, too. I mean...
Well, Solid Snake and Rekka got separated from the group, and they went over to these, the old droid tanks from... I always want to call it Clone Wars now. Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, Clone Wars era.
But yeah, and then they had one of the, what are they called, the little droids that are Roger.
Yeah.
He was on. He just tosses him off to the side. So our boy Rekka eventually, doesn't get to drive the the tank, but he gets a cannon off of one of them.
The battery pack.
Yeah, and just like.
Doesn't he shoot it and say something like, "I'm gonna blow it up"? Or he said something, and I was like, "They did it again." Yeah. I was like,
"This is gonna be."
I was like, "This is a good start, giving Rekka things to explode."
Oh, shut up.
So then, obviously the other 3 get trapped in the crate or whatever. Was that it dying or is it dying? What was that?
Uh-oh. I heard that double beep.
Kevin looks confused for the audio listeners. Checking out the camera. Are we live? Are we dead? Still looks perplexed. What? Oh, yeah. Confirmed problem. Memory card is full. So I imagine right now you are seeing a logo. A very beautiful logo. Oh, thanks, Kevin. I wasn't going to say that. But... Not just said.
Yeah.
So?
I mean, I guess we're just going to go audio from here on out.
Yeah, we gotta.
I guess so. My bad, guys.
No, it's all right. There's not much left anyway. We'll just.
I'll say it should have saved it up till then, but
I think it does.
But
maybe I'll do like bad batch pictures as we talk about certain scenes. But
yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, what did we just leave off on? Oh yeah, they got trapped in the crate and they got lifted up because the Solid Snake blew up some ships. So for distraction, they realize they're blah blah blah. They shut everything out. We're just shooting them off. So they get trapped on there. They try to go to the ejector pod things. I guess they're clones still. Shoot off the escape pods so they can't do it. But then your girl Omega, who's been doing her homework and reading up on ships, knows that the crates that they're in, they get deployed before they go. As long as they don't go high enough, if they deploy, they have jet boosters to help set them down. So the ending of the first episode is them detaching themselves and falling in the air, and the thrusters not working, and then it cuts off. Which is some writing that kind of bugged me because at the end of the first episode, she already stated in the beginning, like as they're falling, they're like they should have kicked on by now. So it's like, oh, suspenseful, they're gonna die. They're not, but because episode 2 is gonna come right here. So then as soon as it's like starts up episode 2, she's like, it should kick on any second. Now I'm like, Bish, you just said like 10 seconds ago they should have already kicked on. That's a big error. Like,
maybe you just need to study a little harder there, Omega.
So then they kick on.
God.
Like they crash and then they're like dangling off an edge. They get out and they meet that I can't remember the older man's name that lives there who has a hut.
Yeah, that's the a Serenian that.
Yeah, he's just a Serenian, right? That just
and your boy Tech breaks his femur by 195 pounds of pressure, or whatever he said so eloquently.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, always.
Dude.
And then he fixes that data drive that's the entire history, art, and everything of the Serenian people, which is pretty sweet. That obviously they're covered in. I mean, the Serenian planet is covered in shit, now because of the war.
I saw somebody post about that scene saying it was so nice Tech to fix this guy's Spotify account.
Oh my god. That is fucking money. That's incredible.
I was like, yeah.
Whoever said that.
That's a good one.
Shout the fuck out.
Well, I can't remember where I heard it from, but when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's good.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
But, so Omega blinded by... Because what did Echo say earlier? Something about, like, basically she's the problem she's the reason why they're in the problem that they're in or something like that. So now she's all gung-ho about making sure this mission gets complete so they can have the money.
Yeah, because they want kind of like to live in peace and get away and finally live
normal lives. She said that it's Echo that's in there, right?
Yes.
So she said the Echo, how she's like, I heard what you said. Because of me, like, we're always going to have a hard life.
Yeah.
And she was like, let's get this stash so we can get some money. So then we can actually have some freedom.
Yeah, because they're always going to be looking for her. I don't think there's ever going to be a time that they're not searching the galaxy for her because of how special she was,
Right.
And how that's actually regular DNA that they can use moving forward, that's been perfected pretty much. So.
Well, yeah, but now the Kaminoans are like, that scientist is, who the hell knows where with the Empire? So that's the thing that's interesting is like, if she still is so important, why is she important to the Empire? Because they obviously don't want the clones really anymore.
Well, they want to clone, not make the clones.
Oh, that's true. Because I guess it would lead to
somehow Palpatine has retired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're either
dark science only the Sith knew.
Snoke.
Am I a joke to you?
Yeah.
The Kaminoan said.
Well, dude, it's like fucking. Mando, when you see the scientist that wants to study Grogu, and he's got the patch on. And in the last season of Batch, you saw that mountain, and you saw those officers everywhere that had that patch and that same scientist that uniform.
So that's the thing, is like the Empire just in-housed him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
Palpatine was like, yo, I need you to make more of me, because, like, I've died before. Just... We get it, your force essence, however the hell that works, you go from one body to the next, but you can't stay in clone bodies because they're just going to deteriorate and die super fast. Okay, JJ. I get that was our fan theories for a very long time, but I don't know that we needed to make it canon, but okay.
You're right. It's like,
it
is what it is,
I had to explain it to people all the time, because they're like, well, Kevin, explain this. I'm like, this is this stupid shit right here. This is what he did.
Yes,
Sorry.
there is a lot of things in there that a lot of times in Star Wars specifically, like when I explain it and I say it out loud, I'm like, stupid. Like, and I'm trying to think of a good example when I was saying that, but I just can't. There's certain things where you're like, oh well, this happened because this, and then this and this happened. It's like when they're like, oh well, the Emperor wanted Padme dead, so he hired Dooku to kill her, and Dooku didn't want to do it himself. So then he hired blah blah or Boba Fett to go kill Padme, but Boba Fett didn't want to do it himself. So then he hired the Changeling to go kill Padme, but she didn't want to kill himself. So
and then this dude wanted to sell Obi-Wan death sticks, and Obi-Wan told him, "Dude, go rethink your life."
Don't worry,
and that's why I don't smoke.
Right.
And don't worry.
Star Wars taught me that.
Don't worry, it gets even better. So the Changeling was hired to kill Padme, didn't want to do it itself, so it sent a little flyy thing over to kill it.
Little droid drop off some
Didn't want to do it itself, so it dropped off 2 little poisonous fucking little whatever, centipedes, millipedes, whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah.
And so that it all shit rolls downhill, obviously.
They were the only ones that wanted to do it.
They were the only ones. It's because they had no other choice.
They had no smaller robot to spit out of them.
Yeah, no shit. It's like, if they would have had something to send off to do their work, I think Star Wars would have made sure it happened. But be that as it may.
I mean, every franchise probably has something like that somewhere where you go to explain it and you're just like, that sounds pretty stupid. But
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like when I think about that, I'm like, yeah, usually like fanboy out. You'll try to find an
So
excuse for it, but you
Superman
don't.
can turn back time? Well, you see, what he does is he flies backwards around the Earth, so
In
it
the
kind of
opposite
in the
direction
opposite
that it
direction.
spins?
So it turns the Earth and spins it backwards, so time goes backwards, right? That's not how time. Shut up. That's how Superman does.
We should have just done this all along.
Is that how quantum physics works or whatever?
Yeah, this is probably why Back to the Future is goated.
Goated, forever goated.
That's not how time travel works. Wait, so Back to the Future is bullshit? I love that part of that movie. Oh, man.
Yeah, anyway, sorry, back to Omega getting blinded by finishing the mission.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she gets back, she gets trapped. Echo gets trapped with her. She has one of the cases, she ends up dropping. It's like, I gotta get it. You have to let it go.
Yeah, and it looks like he's just feeling golden. Like,
dude, Indiana Jones, dude.
When he said let go, I was like sitting there, I'm like, oh, yes, nostalgia me. The hot Obi-Wan to Luke call. Just, you gotta let it go, Omega. And she just breathes. I'm like, yes! It's like she doesn't have force powers, but just give me something relative to it.
what, you didn't like when Kylo Ren yelled at Rey to let go?
Yeah, that wasn't that good, but this was good.
Oh, God. See, is there a callback for that for Obi-Wan?
Well, I mean, it's
I
just
thought
like
of Indiana
the whole...
Jones for some reason where he's like hanging on and he's got like the goblet behind him. Or
Oh,
whatever,
okay.
and
No,
John Connor's like, you have to let go.
You have to.
well, okay, maybe that is more accurate. But when I watch it, and he echoes like you have to let go, like the way that Echo just kind of like calmly says it to her, just says you have to let go, and she's like closing her eyes and like breathing heavy and like accepting it. I just thought like, oh, that's New Hope vibes. Like it's literally the let go, Luke. Let go.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's force sensitive.
And I will admit
heard
that's
that's a theory.
actually since I compared it in my head and made that connection of like that was the same like emotional feel of the scenes. My head went there too. I was like, are they gonna make her force sensitive?
I mean, that would make sense. It's like their last clone, and they did the right thing.
And that's also could be another reason why she's so important.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
because if she is,
and that could also
Force
explain how
sensitive.
Palpatine has returned.
or that could explain why
well,
they're so
or how
gung-
they make Snoke and shit like
or
that.
why they're so gung ho towards getting Grogu now, if whatever happens or however she gets
Yeah, I mean,
away.
does hopefully
Right.
Omega.
I would
hopefully
assume
this
she
isn't a
gets
sad
away.
ending for Omega.
Yeah.
But it could be.
Because I believe in Mandalorian, like they only want Grogu because of his midichlorian count. Don't they even say it specifically?
Right, but I mean, in the same aspect. I mean, maybe her midichlorian count, or maybe it's something that they can use, or she's a vessel they can use to make a force sensitive clone.
Not even Master Yoda's is that.
I used to know the midichlorian counts by heart, and I hate that. But
I'd hate that too if I was you, and I'd make sure I'd forget it.
Yeah. That's honestly kind of how I felt about it. Made sure that happened.
I'd say like overall, like it was a good episode. Like I did
good
like
first 2 episodes. I will admit I have to go back and watch them.
I just need them to be a little bit more meaningful, I guess. I mean, like, it just seems like
agreed. I felt like these 2 episodes just didn't. I don't know.
They didn't grab me.
They didn't grab you.
They didn't give me anything. It's like, I mean, like, obviously I'm excited to see everyone back, and I'm excited to see what we're gonna do next and how they develop. But
yeah.
I just didn't. I mean, usually they try to start out with a bang, and I'm like, okay, shooting crabs off a ship, I get it. That's kind of cool. That's cool shots and stuff. Cool planet, new area. Usually they do something big time, like something big to like pop off and get your attention again. They just didn't do it this time.
Nope.
Not that I don't dislike either one. It's just they're great episodes. But
I get where you're coming from.
I think they should have just done a little bit more. Maybe just
get
to
where
start.
you're coming from.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good time. I kind of just took this as just like an entry adventure mission to kind of get it kind of on the track of where we need to go. Is that Wilco guy? Is he any relevance? Did you guys recognize him at all? It was the fact that he was just like a named captain. I was like, I wonder if he's important. I mean, not anymore. Spoilers, but
yeah. Captain towards the end of the Clone Wars, so he was in Clone Wars.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the named clones.
Well, he made it at least into the second season of Bad Batch.
Wait a minute. Okay, no, never mind. So he wasn't in Clone Wars. He was in the Clone Wars, but he wasn't in the show. Looks like he's a new clone character created entirely for the Bad Batch season 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was a short stint.
So 2022 to 2023, RIP.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Here's what I found.
Oh. Really?
Thanks, Siri. She just tried to like YouTube some videos about RIP 2023. I don't want to open those.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
I mean, overall, yeah, I get where you're coming from. We could have had a little bit more of a tie-in. I almost wondered if just how the way the second episode ended with the Admiral, or I don't know what his actual title is, the Imperial shooting Wilco because he, didn't disobeyed an order because he is so Mr. Follow Orders correctly. He couldn't disobey that. Which I also just think that's like another reason why they want to phase the clones out in a way too. At least some of those like officers right there, because obviously like something like that gets up to I mean, who would be it now? Tarkin is. I mean, that's probably who they all answer to, right?
Grand
So,
Moff,
I mean, obviously, if he finds out that the batch is still around,
Him
like,
and
I
Thrawn.
mean, that dude's. I mean, he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, Thrawn and Grand Moff Tarkin were kind of mano-y-mano as far as projects. They were on the same level, and then you obviously have Vader, who's a little closer to the Emperor for obvious reasons. But, but yeah, no, it was the Grand Moff and the Grand Admiral.
Okay.
So that was the two below Vader, slightly.
So is that Thrawn? Right
Yeah.
now? Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what we're supposed to see in Ahsoka.
So like, I think they just did it the way that they just did it, but like in Rebels, it's like Grand Moff Tarkin, but then like you go through the first season, who he puts in charge can't get it done, so then he comes back with Vader for Vader to take care of the rebels. And then of course like Vader doesn't really fail, but he kind of just like, well, I'm just gonna throw like 3 Inquisitors around now for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two are basically right next to Palp's chair with, I'd say more with Vader, because of the fact that like when you watch A New Hope, it's just, you get the feeling that Tarkin's kind of
on the same level in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a completely different.
You get the idea that Vader's not as like, at least, and that could just because like that movie was is obviously it was made, and it was the very first one they made, and you kind of got to make it in a way that where it could maybe stand on its own. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why you get those vibes there, because definitely then in Empire, it's like, oh, Vader's a top brass.
Oh right, yeah. Because no, you're 100% right. Because out of any of the officers in the first movie, for sure, he's the only one that challenges and stands up to Vader, at all.
Release him.
Yeah. You're the last of their religion. Yeah. Just like
of a dying religion.
Which that's the cue that Tarkin's like, I know who you really are to Vader and shit like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Just because a lot of times you read about in the Thrawn books, the canon Thrawn books, there's a lot of times where the meeting is. They don't even say Tarkin most of the time. Usually it's Thrawn, Vader, and Palps. But I think that's the military side of it. Whereas I think Grand Moff is more because the Moff title is a government title,
right?
So it's more like a, Secretary of War. But
he just comes in and bosses people around. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. So
instead of actually being in a battle like Thrawn.
Yeah, so I mean, you obviously there's your kind of modern day Dark Council, of those four. That's more or less kind of what it was. Because really, Vader, Thrawn, Grand Moff Tarkin, they didn't really see a whole lot of each other in the grand scheme of Star Wars universe. I mean, they crossed over, and that's what we see on TV or in the books, in the main books. But
right,
they don't really see a whole lot of each other.
Interesting. I thought this was a good starter. At least I know if we're giving it ratings, I'd say the first two episodes 7. It's good. It's a good time. I had a good time.
Yeah, good time. Not great, but good time.
I would say it's 7. 7.
Yeah.
I was debating 6.5 or 7. I'm just gonna stick with 7. Borderline. 6.7.
Wonder if
we'll meet in the middle.
Yeah. Is the Wanda Sykes character going to be a big time player?
I would bet. I mean, if you're bringing on Wanda Sykes, I would think she'd at least be somewhat of a prominent role down the line. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's a sweet role of voice acting on Star Wars. Like, dude, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah,
I love that.
She's a great voice actor. So
yeah.
I think that wraps up this week. Unless what's that? Oh, never mind. That's that confusing one.
Yeah, we started there.
I was like, oh, what the fuck? Anyway, yep. So I think that wraps up this week. As always, if you liked it, give us a like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, official T3P. Also follow us on any podcast services all around the globe, as I always say. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but just try to find us on some podcasts. Until next time, appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I'm your boy J Sib.
Kevin Crunch. Time.
Baby.
Oh my.
It's
just the bull, man.
I had to chime in this week. Later, skaters. We don't got a camera, but we're going to clap.